Hello and welcome back. This is week 4 of Married at First Sight UK. Let's get straight into it. First, I'm going to repeat it. Please subscribe to my channel so you won't miss next week's uploads, and follow me on social media for more content. I'm the Philosophical Love Coach on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. Let's start with the new couples. So, last week we had 3 more weddings. So this week we have seen a little bit more of them. Let's start with Abigail and John. Can I take a moment to talk about Abigail's mom first? So, I know that when we love someone, we want to protect them and we want the best for them. But at some point, we also need to be trusting that they will make the best choices for themselves, and we need to be supportive somehow. Abigail's mom keeps telling her that in the past, she used to always tell her that everyone she's ever introduced to the family, every boyfriend was like, no, no good, no, no good. Now, Abigail is terrified that she's not able to make the right choice when it comes to relationships. She says that she tells John about her past. She says that she used to date someone and they were talking about the future. She thought he was the one. And then one day she received a phone call and it was his wife. Obviously, it is traumatizing. And of course, this will give anyone so many doubts and issues. We wouldn't know who we can trust anymore. But I think her mom is making it worse, because if every time she comes home with someone new, her mom goes like, no, no, not good, no, no, not good enough, no, no, not good enough. She's creating this story in her head that she doesn't know how to choose the correct partner. But anyway, at the moment, Abigail and John are doing super well. They're really into each other. And one thing I really liked when Abigail opened up to John and told him the story about her past, he said, "It is my responsibility to show her that she can trust me and that I don't want to hurt her." This is really beautiful. Like, is showing that he cares and he wants to give her the reassurance that she must be needing. So I'm very, very hopeful for these two. Let's see what happens in the next few episodes. And let's go to April and Leo. So these two are surely not struggling with initial spark. They're very much into each other. Intimacy is there. And they're having a lot of fun together. Everything is great. But of course, April wants to create a deeper emotional connection, because at the moment she says everything is fun, is nice, but it's very surface level. So she wants to bring it deeper. And how does she do it? She do it how it's done. She leads by example. So she asks him questions that give him an opportunity, potentially would give him an opportunity to open up and talk about himself. And she also relates her personal experience to these questions. So she asks him, for example, have you been hurt in your past? I don't remember exactly the question she asked, but she says something like, have you been hurt? And how does it feel for you today? And he doesn't really give her a lot to work with, but she continues and she goes like, well, for me, I have been hurt in the past, and this is why sometimes I struggle with trusting people. She gives us a brilliant example of how to lead a conversation if you want it to go deeper and create emotional connection. Let's watch her because we can learn a lot from her. Unfortunately, on this occasion with Leo, it doesn't work. So April does the next logical thing. She addresses it with him. She says, Look, I need us to go a little bit deeper with our conversations. I want to get to know you, the real you, not just the surface level you. But there is a problem. The problem is Leo is not opening up on purpose. She doesn't want April to see too much because he says, I fear that when people see the real me, they won't like it. This is very, very common. If we are insecure in ourselves, if we think we aren't lovable, desirable, worth it, um, we will be scared to show our authentic self. At least Leo is aware of it. But a lot of us do it without being aware that we are doing it. And I'm sorry, a lot of it, I think, also comes from the type of dating advice that tell us that we should implement techniques and games and do rules to be liked and to be loved. Because if we create this idea in our head that who we really are is not that likable and not that lovable, and we need to implement all these techniques like do this, don't reply too soon, pretend to be mean, keep them keen, all these dating myths, then we get the idea that our authentic self for what it is not likable and lovable enough. We need to pretend, we need to mask, we need to create a persona. This is like so important. Leo needs to work on this. They won't be able to create any healthy relationship, any connection if he doesn't work on this. To me, April seems such like a mature, genuine, emotionally intelligent and available person. So I really hope Leo can meet her where she is, because if he can, it will be a really good relationship. If he doesn't make more of an effort, unfortunately, it won't work. So, best luck to them. Let's see what happens. And let's go to our next new couple. Let's go and talk about my girl, Lisha. Lisha! Okay, recompose myself. Let's talk about Lisha and Riz. First of all, one little thing that has got nothing to do with the relationship. Can someone explain what Riz means when he says that his ideal type of woman or the perfect woman, I don't remember exactly the words he uses, but that this woman that he potentially likes is the woman that walks with one leg in front of the other and not leg next to the other. I don't understand how that works. I haven't been able to stop thinking about it. Like, what does she do? Does she hop on one foot and then on the next? And then how does it work? Like, can someone who understood let me know in the comments, please? I'd be very, very grateful. Anyway, let's go back to the relationship stuff. Lisha is super insecure, next level insecure. My heart breaks for her. She's so scared to not be chosen again that she wants that reassurance now. Now, you need to tell me now. What do you want for the future? Now, I need to know now. She wants the reassurance. She wants to know that this time she will be chosen. But what can he say? Like, how can he tell her, yes, you are the one. Yes, I will be spending the rest of my life with you. He can't say any of that because he doesn't know her. It's like she's not even trying to create a connection. She's not even trying to work out whether this relationship can work long term, whether they have the same values, whether they're compatible. None of it matters. All that matters is that she is chosen right now. You know, Alicia says, I'm too much. Yes, it's true. Being too much doesn't mean being loud, having like a bubbly personality, or having strong opinions. you don't have to shrink. You don't have to make yourself smaller to be liked. Take space. Take as much space as your personality needs to shine. It's okay. When I say too much, I mean too ahead of the process, too insecure, too focused on being loved no matter what. That's too much. It's not being a huge personality. A huge personality is great. There's never too much. Too much is being not where you should be at that time of the relationship. Now, if we show up like Lisha does, we're not letting someone know that we want to see them, that we want to know them, that we think they could be special and we want to get to know them and find out if they could be the one. We're not letting them know any of that. We are letting them know that we want to be seen at all costs. We want to be chosen, and anyone will do. You are in front of me right now. Please choose me. That's all that matters. How I see you, whether we're compatible, none of that matter. Reese even tells her. He communicates that. He says, look, with all this questioning me on what I want, where I am, what I'm looking for, all this being too much, all it is doing is pushing me away. I don't have the answers to your questions right now. And of course, he doesn't have the answers because he doesn't know her. So, how could he tell her that, yes, he wants to be with her and create a family with her and have children with her? He can't say that. He says, my intentions are those. I want to create a family. I want to have children. I want to build something, but I don't know if I want that with you. Correct. If I don't know you, even though I want all these things, I shouldn't be able to tell that I want these things with you. Because if I look at someone and be like, yeah, I want to spend the rest of my life with you straight away, without knowing what's actually going on, well, then maybe I'm not really interested in them as a person. I'm interested in what they can provide for me, the family I want, the children I want, and everything. This doesn't create connection. This alienates because nobody wants to be chosen to be a means to an end. Everyone wants to be chosen for themselves, for who they are. They want to be seen. But Lisha is too scared to be rejected, to not be chosen. So she wants the reassurance, as we said. And there is another thing that Lisha does that is such a symptom of a deep insecurity. First, she makes like a joke about him being so lucky to be married to her. Something similar. I don't remember exactly what she said, but she says something like, "Oh, you should be so honored to be married to me." And he says, "Yeah, it's true. I am. You know, like I think I'm lucky to be married to you." But she doesn't. She doesn't believe it. She doesn't believe it because she doesn't see herself in that light that someone could consider themselves lucky to be with her. So she becomes sarcastic. She's like, "Oh, I can tell you're lying. I can tell you're lying." The sarcasm is a form of self-defense. And he says, "Well, why do you think I'm lying?" And then she becomes defensive and she starts going, "Oh, I'm gonna tell you now. If I don't get from you everything that I want from you, I'm gonna walk away because I can be with anyone. I can have anyone. I'm so great. Everyone will want to be with me." First of all, that is not true. And we know it's not true because she told us. Because at the beginning, when she was interviewed, she said, "Nobody ever chooses me." So we know that she can't be with anyone she wants. And you know what? We shouldn't be ashamed of that. We shouldn't be ashamed of the fact that we aren't chosen because it doesn't tell us anything about our worth. The fact that we struggle to create relationships shouldn't be something we are ashamed of. because it means, oh, I'm so unworthy. No, it should just make us think, what's happening? Give us like a wake up call into wanting to look inward and understand what's happening. We should use it to our advantage, not be ashamed of it. So I went through a similar phase. I was dating people and I was stuck in the same cycle. Dating, it doesn't work. Dating, it doesn't work. At the time, I was asking myself and others, friends, whatever, what am I doing wrong? What needs fixing? Typical dating advice. Nothing you're doing is wrong. At some point, someone who loves you exactly for who you are will find you. You just need to be patient. Don't change anything about yourself. Who doesn't want you is their loss, not yours. No, it doesn't work like that. I knew something wasn't right, which is why, luckily, I was able to go on an inwards journey that took me where I am now, sitting on the sofa talking about healthy relationship when I was stuck previously in a cycle of ghosting, all the horrible things that probably Lisha is going through. Yeah. Now, it is true that the right person will love us exactly for who we are. No masking, no pretending, no changing our personality. They will love us exactly for who we are. But how are we showing up to them? Are we giving them the opportunity to see us for who we are so that they can love that person? Or are we full of like layers and layers of defense mechanism? If if this is how we're showing up, through masking, getting defensive, being sarcastic and aggressive ahead of everything, not giving them a chance to even see us, how are we expecting them to be able to see this authentic, amazing self and fall in love with it? When I went through that journey, I had to rewire, deconstruct, rebuild, not change my personality, not change who I was. I'm still exactly the same person. I just had to let that personality shine through because I wasn't letting anyone see my real personality because I was so protective, I was so scared. I was trying everything in order to not be abandoned or left. So nobody could see the real me. Once I cleared all those filters and bad things that I was using to protect myself, my personality, real me, came through, and now people could see it and could love it. I wasn't giving them the chance before and complaining that they didn't love me. What was it to love? Yeah. Lisha is doing exactly the same. So she has a lot of work to do, a lot of work to do on herself. I'm not shaming her. I'm just saying I hope she can see that she has to bring everything back to the present and be like, I want to get to know this person for who they are, not be, oh my god, please someone choose me. Put that away. However, I don't think Riz is doing or will be doing an amazing job of reassuring her. She's already insecure, but what about him? She's not making a huge effort because poor woman, she had an accident. She had to go to hospital, and she said she had to ask him to go with her. No, I don't care if it was a little scratch, like he said, it's just a little scratch. She's going to hospital. You have to support her. You have to be there for her. She doesn't have to ask you to be there for her. Go to hospital. Support your partners. Support your person. Be there for them. Why do we even need to talk about this? It's so obvious. Anyway, and the other thing, um, He said he was given the silent treatment or something similar. I'm not sure, but he said something like, "Oh, I became cold towards you after you did what you did." But silent treatment is never, never, ever okay. It doesn't matter. Like, we need to talk about things, discuss about things. Silent treatment is so manipulative and so wrong. Talk, express your emotions, let someone else know, don't shut them out. So I didn't like that. I want to go back to Lisha a little second, because the argument they had was because um, when they were on the plane, apparently she was missing for an hour talking about some other guy, and he got jealous. He was like, said that he found that disrespectful. Um, Again, I think that is like a cry for attention from Lisha. She doesn't know how to ask for attention in a healthy way. So she does it like, oh, if I make him jealous, maybe it's not even conscious. Maybe it's just like, a instinct. If I make him jealous, then I have a little sign that he cares. I think this is what happened there. But regardless of that, if you don't like that she was missing for an hour, just tell her. Don't give her the silent treatment. So let's see what happens again with these two as well. We're just at the beginning. I'm not 100% sure. They're super well matched, and they both have a lot of work to do. So good luck to them. Let's see what happens. Another couple has left us, Sarah and Dean. Look, it's good that they left. It wasn't gonna go anywhere, and I understand why the experts said, guys, let it go. It's no point to continue. I'm glad they called it out, because it wasn't going to go anywhere. But why was Sarah so determined to stay, even though she was like struggling so much to find attraction for Dean? Like, she was crying. She was like, I don't know how to find attraction for him. And yet she was holding on to it. I think sometimes when we are stuck in a cycle of unhealthy relationships with the same type of person, this emotionally unavailable, like Sarah is, and finally we meet someone that we know potentially could give us exactly what we're looking for. We hold on to it because we would love to have what they could provide, but we don't want it from them. So I think she was like, it's just there. It's just there. If only I could find attraction for him. If only, if only. But she couldn't. But she was still trying. Again, I think this is unhealthy and it's unfair towards the other patient, towards the other person. Because, like, they are stuck there with you, waiting for you to make up your mind. And it's really, really not fair on them. And again, I'm not pointing fingers. I've gone through all of these situations. I was seeing someone and I liked them so much, and I thought they were an amazing person, and I would have wanted to be with them so much, but I just didn't have, like, I wanted to fall in love with them, but I couldn't. And I was trying to hold on to them and be like, come on, just date them for another week and then you will fall for them. And it didn't happen. And I regret doing it, because while I was trying to find the passion for them, because I wanted what they could have given me, they were stuck with me, waiting for me to make up my mind. It's not something we should do. And I think it is what Sarah is doing with Dean, was doing with Dean. The solution is not to hold on to someone that you don't really love, because maybe they say that, maybe they are, because she's scared that when she goes back out there, she's gonna go back to dating all these emotionally unavailable men who are going to hurt her again. The solution is not to hold on to someone. The solution is to heal to the point where we are attracted to emotionally available men. We're not even a little bit interested in all these, like, people who, like, only hurt us and give us nothing, because the healing process brings us even there, to a point where, if someone is not good for us, we don't care, we don't like them anyway. Anyway, I really hope Sarah can break the cycle and that Dean can find the love that he so much deserves. Best of luck to both of them separately. And now let's go to a couple who is so confusing for me. Why is Julia Ruth lying about being intimate with Devani? I'm very confused. So she says that she is entitled to be in control of how much she shares about a private life. I agree. At home, in your own personal time, with your own friends, with your own family, you share or not share how much you want to with whoever you want to. You are completely in control. On national TV, when you signed up for a reality dating show where the main focus is your relationship and the whole of UK is watching you to find out whether the relationship is going to work or not going to work, and when intimacy is part of the process, no, you're not so entitled to lie, because it's not just being a little private, because I 100% agree that, she doesn't want to talk about it too much. If she, she doesn't want to share too much, she's entitled to it. But saying to the experts that she is struggling to find physical, being physically attracted to Devani, saying that they're taking their time with finding intimacy, telling all the other brides and grooms that she has to use her sex toys, even like she does them, for to just have some action. This is not being private, this is lying. There is a difference. She could have said something like, you know what, I'm not very open to discuss my private life, but we're doing okay in the intimacy level. We're doing okay. Even that could have been enough. We don't expect her to tell us everything that happens in her bedroom. That's a private business. But as I said, if you are on national TV and the focus is your relationship, you have to share about your relationship. I'm sorry. You signed up for it. Sorry. If you find that at some point you find the process too overwhelming because you don't want to discuss these things, I think you can request to leave. Fair. But you can't continue the process and lie at the same time. It's really not fair. It's really not fair for the other brides and grooms who are all sharing this experiment. It's not fair on the experts who are sitting there giving the wrong type of advice because they don't know the truth. It's not fair for anyone watching. Anyway, having said that, I don't think Devani handled the situation in the best possible way. Because if you agreed with her that you wouldn't have mentioned this on camera, before mentioning on camera, he should have gone to her privately, behind scenes, and said, look, Julia, I don't want to take, Julia Ruth, sorry, I don't want to take part into this lie anymore. Next time, when we are in front of the experts, I'm going to tell the truth because I want to take the opportunity for the experts to give us the correct advice, because they need to know what's going on to give us the correct advice. I want to take the opportunity. I don't want to participate into this lie anymore. I'm telling you now that there's no cameras, because if you made an agreement, you can't just change your mind and change the agreement without letting the other person know. You need to let them know that you don't like that agreement anymore and you're going to act differently. Fair enough. But going to her on camera in such an aggressive way as well, and being all people need to know that we've been intimate, people need to know, To me, it didn't come across as if he was doing it for the benefit of the relationship. To me, it came across as if it was just his ego. Like, oh, everyone needs to know that actually we are having sex. I'm not gonna look like a fool that my wife doesn't want to have sex with me. No, we don't need that. We didn't need to see that. Discuss it privately, like you said you would have. After, bring it to the experts. The experts are there to help them. So I didn't like how Divani handled the whole thing. But both of them, they are very confusing for me. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what they're doing, to be honest. Anyway, let's see what happens next. And there is still so much to say about so many couples. But one last thing I want to say, I'm probably not going to mention all of them in this video, but one thing, why is Steven so aggressive? This is not okay. Throwing things, smashing glasses, calling people names, running away. What is that? What is that? Like, I was uncomfortable. I was intimidated watching that behavior through a screen. Imagine how intimidating it must be for Nelly to sit there next to him while he's having his little tantrums. Calm down. It's no, I'm sorry. No, that's not excusable. I'm sorry, but one thing I want to say about Stephen is that I disagree with everyone on this. Everyone, the experts, the public, brides and grooms. I don't care. Come for me. I don't care. I disagree with everyone else. Is that Stephen is right, I say, when he says that nobody is taking his needs into consideration. Everyone is just like, but Nelly, but Nelly, but Nelly. Nelly needs more attention. Nelly needs more reassurance. Nelly needs to be prioritized. Nelly needs this. Nelly needs that. But what about what Stephen needs? Like, when he says, okay, Nelly needs this and that, but I also have needs. Straight away, the experts say, this is deflecting. Okay, maybe it was deflecting in that moment. I agree. But can this person have needs too? Or is his only job is to make Nelly feel prioritized all the times? Sorry, I disagree with that. I think he's being very overlooked as a person in the relationship. This doesn't excuse his behavior. I'm not saying it to say, oh, I understand he had a point in throwing glasses. It doesn't excuse his behavior. I'm just saying he has a point. This point is still not an excuse. So he needs to change his communication. He has to work on his delivery and on all these like really annoying habits he has, like rolling eyes, like his body language, like laughing when Nelly's saying something important to him. That's not okay. None of this is okay. None of this is excusable. So this is one point. Only make another point. Also, he needs to be considered as a person with needs in their relationship. And I don't think he is being, to be honest. Everything is just seeing Nelly's side. She needs more. This is my opinion. Anyway, there is still a lot going on with all the other couples. We're gonna look into more next week. For now, I'm gonna leave it here. I'm watching very closely Lee and Leah, especially. I'm very interested by their dynamic. I want to just say quickly, I likely, people say, oh, she complains. It's true, she complains a lot, but watch her. She's very intelligent. She's very focused. She's not very analytic. Watch her talk to the other brides and grooms. She always has the right thing to say, the right advice. Why? Because she understands what's correct or not correct to do in a relationship. Unfortunately, because she's very closed off and very scarred, she can't implement it in her own relationship. I think this is all that's going on. She's got the awareness to understand. She's struggling to bring it to her. But if she can do that, take the step and be like, oh, this is what people should do. Oh, hold on, let me do it. Things will start working. Um, Fingers crossed. Let's see what happens with them. For now, as I said, I'm gonna leave you here. See you all next week. Bye bye.